all powers are delegated to or relegated to the states. Only those powers explicitly enumerated are for the federal government. The model has been turned upside down, and it has everything to do with money and power. It has nothing to do with the Constitution and the vision of our founding fathers. That's what DOJ has an opportunity to right side this model and put the federal government subjugated to the will of the people and put the states in control of how they want to govern for themselves. And if a state wants to legalize abortion, they can do it now, or they can make it illegal now. They're not going to be told what to do by the federal government or the Supreme Court, which ushered in an era of Roe v. Wade where 63 million fetuses were aborted. I refuse to have one drop of that blood on my conscience. I have consistently, continually, when the subject has come up, stood firmly against abortion. But I also believe in libertarian principles of government to an extent. So I'm not going to condone it. I'm so grateful of the fact that God gave me and my wife 3 wonderful sons who we worship and adore. I'll tell you one quick story. I was at the Republican National Convention this summer, and this subject came up, and I was talking about with a very delightful lady. And she was a delegate to the convention, and we stumbled on the subject of abortion. And I made the statement that I was not in favor of abortion, but I did recognize the traditional 3 exceptions that people talk about: incest, health of the mother, rape. And the way that she expressed herself was so eloquent and so respectful and so articulate that I was able to hear her. And she said, well, I understand where you're coming from, but I want to relay to you a conversation that I had with my mother. And she said that she really despised my father because he had raped her, and he wanted her to have an abortion, and she refused. And you are the baby. You are the child that was the product of a rape. And I have never regretted my decision not to honor your father's wish. That really changed me. That story, that chance encounter at the Republican National Convention with a delegate from the state of Georgia really got my attention. So we digress. My point is the states get to decide. The voters get to decide. Not some federal bureaucrat in Washington that is going to impose his will on us. That's the opportunity that we've got right now. Adrian's on the phone. She's calling and has been waiting patiently. She's calling from Richmond, Virginia this morning. Good morning, Adrian.
Well, I don't identify as a woman anymore, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, John.
My apologies.
No worries, brother. It happens a lot more than you think, man. Hey, it's my middle name, but it's all good, brother. No worries. Hey, so the Matt Gaetz thing, you got to understand it as well. I get where you come from, being a moral person with your wife, 3 kids, but sometimes folks are young, they're handsome, they're attractive, and they're able to seek, opportunities, fun, whatever you want to call it, and do some things probably that they're not thinking that's going to hit them. No one knows what they're actually going to do in life. So, I get it. I see it from your perspective, but I see it from also his perspective that, hey, man, he was just out there doing his thing. If he wasn't breaking the law, then we need to get over it. That's the big deal. That people want to judge this man because he did something as if no one has skeletons in the closet, but I digress on that. What I called you about is...
Before you move on from that, I want to tell you that there is a big part of me. I am no goody two-shoes, okay? I had a great college experience.
It's irrelevant.
It is basically irrelevant. The only thing that I will say in response to that is that I don't think he exercised any judgment at all, and he put himself in a position of being observed by third people. I don't think that's cool, man. And that's where that's the only thing I would say. If I was king for a day, Matt Gaetz would be the Attorney General of the United States.
There you go.
I'm on your side on that. But, politics is a dirty game. and you got to be prepared. So I don't know.
Hey, yeah, I hear you. But look, let me just say this. Let me just say this, and I know we're hitting here. Look, Mr. Dakota, I didn't catch his name, but real quick, I'm with him, and you got to see it like this, and maybe you can see it from this perspective. Is I'm an independent Constitution. I used to be a Republican, but I like him. They do not fight. They're cowards, and with Democrats, you know what you're getting. We have Democratic brothers and sisters that are either naive or now at this time ignorant to their communist brothers and sisters. They don't admit it, they don't call them out, and they continue to side with them. And that's what we're talking about with the Republicans, is that either you guys are either naive or you're a little ignorant, because these guys have voted in these clowns that have changed the law and changed the rules of the game. You're not wrong, and I'm not right, and vice versa. But I told John this and I preached this, that we from Trump, this past election, the next two elections, we got to weed out these rhinos. We don't have a lot of time, and this is why the fight, it just started. If we don't continue to weed these people out, we're going to continue spinning our wheels and fighting amongst ourselves. I understand that sometimes you got to vote on moral and principle and such. But my point is, right now, we don't have time for that. We have to suck it up and eat it and say, you know what, normally I wouldn't vote for this, or maybe I'm a little different on this, but we got to weed these things out. And that's where you guys, and I say that respectfully, the Republicans, you guys that are hardcore, don't see that, or you don't want to see it, and you're blind to it. And that's not me dogging y'all or calling you out, but you guys don't understand that Senator Hawley, Senator McKinney, all these guys have great videos and little takes and shorts and all this, but in all reality, they're voting these folks in, and we're on them out. And this is what I mean.
Adrian,
they talk good game, but they don't. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I got to make very valid points. But look, are you telling me you're a Democrat because you don't like these people in the Republican Party that you don't feel like really represent what they should?
No, not at all. That's why I said I'm an independent. I know what you're going with that.
Well,
I get what you're saying with that. I'm not. Yeah,
okay.
I know where you're going with that. Yeah, but
there are times that I have thought about being an independent because of the Mitch McConnells of the world, and I'm worried about John Thune, and I'm worried about this little duo that they've got going up there now, and we're going to see over the next 60 days how it's going to play out, and whether John Thune is going to obstruct President Trump's agenda or whether he's going to be on board with it. We'll just have to wait and see. So I'm right there with you when you're talking about rhinos, but what I want to get you and the other caller to stop and consider for a moment, this is a new day. You've got Democrats and you've got Republicans, and I really think that you could make a strong argument that MAGA today is a new third party in America. You look at African Americans, Asians, Hispanics, gays, lesbians, all moving and voting for Trump in the MAGA party. And you look at Pete Hegseth, and you look at Gaetz, and you look at Kash Patel, and you look at Tulsi Gabbard and Pam Bondi. These are MAGA Republicans. Chop Republican off the end and just say it's the MAGA party. I would join that party today